So I'm on the go, hotel hopping, and I wanted to continue the conversation about protection. But first, I want to thank you guys for your input, your comments, and I want to go over that. There's been a couple of main points that have been brought up that I think are critical to this conversation from the men's point of view of why they're not extending themselves to protect others. Let's get into this.
We as Black women continue to say that we're the least protected and ask Black men to protect us if we're not willing to listen to them. We men can't protect someone that is not willing to listen to them.
A lot of times we as men, we often find ourselves, specifically in Black community, we find ourselves where we are not in a position to be critical or to just gently sometimes correct. We're told to police our tone, the way we say things. It's not what you said, it's how you said it. We get so far off the path that we're no longer even addressing the initial thing that needed to be talked about. So it becomes kind of pointless to have these conversations. So a lot of us go towards silence. This is with someone we claim to love, someone that we claim loves us. So we can't really protect you if we can't correct some bad behavior. If we are not in a space to say, hey, that's not a good idea. Hey, I don't think this is a good thing for you to be wearing. We know how that's immediately met with vitriol and saying, you're controlling me. I don't want to do this. This is slavery. It's, my body, my choice. Absolutely. Absolutely. And in those cases, men, I always say just remove yourself from position. Even if it's you've got to, rip off some skin as you exit because you know how that thing sort of ends up. But the point here, how can we protect you if you're unwilling to listen to anything that we have to say?
And most Black men are not going to protect some random chick on the street. He's going to protect his wife. He's going to protect someone he loves, someone he's with, someone he's responsible for. He's not going to protect Shaniqua out on the corner.
Or like you guys like in the comments, you like using Keisha, and like I said before, I know a couple good Keishas, but this is another point that was made in the comments. I I'm gonna protect who's mine. Who's mine to protect, who is in my close circle, who actually that I have obligation responsibility for. When you have this expectation that I should protect you based on the color of your skin or based on the chromosomes you were born with, you lose all of us. You lose the majority of us to say, I just can't understand that. I just can't understand that. Because we somehow forget that depending on the situation, and sometimes things that seem innocuous seem innocent. Oh, you have a flat tire. Hey, but you didn't pull over enough because you were never taught that. So me coming and stopping and helping you, I may now be subject to some sort of danger from the traffic. But you don't want to listen to me saying, hey, do this instead. No. Or like someone pointed out in the comments, hey, I got out the car to offer someone they needed a help, they needed a ride, and then in jumps two, three other more people. All this is just it's more and more danger where sometimes we feel like we end up warring against our nature, where we want to help, we want to be there to assist, to eliminate some sort of danger, to get you out of a tight spot. But now we have to think my primary responsibility are to those that I call mine. That is always going to be the crux of this conversation.
Or some chick in the mall. He's not going to do that. So if we want protection, we have to be under the covering of men. Otherwise, women, go get yourself a gun, learn how to train, or learn martial arts or jujitsu or something like that. But stop asking men to.
That's crux of it. If you're not mine, if you're not, I don't have responsibility to you. Anything else I offer this or that is a courtesy. It's a courtesy because everything else is at risk. I risk my family, the thing I created, right? The kids I created, I'm going to put that at risk because you're just out there. And again, people had stories about men going out, doing things and end up losing their lives. I know there was a story in New York in the Bronx where there was a man in like maybe a couple floors up and he heard this young lady was getting harassed with like three or four guys that came into her apartment. He came down there to help to see what was happening. Shot dead. That's it. And there's no follow up like, hey, what happened? Why did this? No follow up. Nothing. It just everyone's life gets to go on like nothing happened. And his family's just kind of left there. Like, what do we do now? Let's continue.
For one, the black woman don't submit enough for a man that want to lay his life down for her. The black man don't have enough access to his black children from black women. If they want the protection, look at your home girl and your sister and them saying, listen, y'all, we got to lighten up on these. Girl, just go take the kids over there. Stop take the barriers away from them and watch what these black boys do for you. Watch what these black men do for your sisters.
So this is we I don't know, we hate to think about it as in who's gonna do something first, who's gonna move up the market first. But for black men, we feel like there's so many barriers in the way for me being able to do something. We say in comments again, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. The risk isn't worth the reward. Where if I'm doing in the times that people have indicated, hey, yeah, I did overextend myself or I did extend myself. I didn't get a thank you. I didn't get anything but gratitude. She just left. She just left. She looked at me still like I was strange, like I was some sort of threat or danger to her. Well, I just assisted you. I took time out of my schedule. I helped you, and you just go off. Forget the times that dangers actually abound. There's no gratitude in it. There's no gratitude in it. Then from the same people clamoring that we're supposed to help them, we see how the courts are weaponized against the same type of black man. We're the worst. We're always held at the worst of us. I'm not saying that there aren't bad actors. There's always bad actors. But when you hold the entire group by the actions of the worst, we can never rise up. So naturally, there's going to be that pullback, right? There's going to be that natural pullback when men just say, if I'm just scum, if I'm the worst of the worst, why should I try? Why should I now do these things? Now we become from that, there's no more of that community. Now we're just down to the individual basic needs. Hey, I'm going to protect me and mine. That's it. Everything else, I can be a good witness. I can take on my phone, I can call the cops to you, or I can just give you a head nod as I'm going, and you'll be left out there stranded, doing whatever you need to do. And these are the cases where you actually need help. What we're seeing a lot is the expectation. If you want to talk to me, if you want me to smile at you, pay for my groceries, pay for my gas, do this thing to make my life monetarily easier. That way, that can give me some sort of incentive to even just look your way. That's reducing us down just, again, to a transactional thing where we're just like, okay, what is the point? What is the point of this? When men are seeing like, you know what's a viable option? Not dealing with you. Or completely just saying, I'm going to leave the country. The amount of men in the comments saying, yeah, I got my passport. There was one gentleman said, yeah, he got married to an African woman and he had to relearn how to actually deal with it because he had such poor expectations of outcomes. It's a sad thing when we're also hearing good women say they actually want good relationships. An important thing, and I'll leave you guys with this, so hopefully we can get back to these conversations, is we don't hear enough from good women, right? And it's an internet fault, right? It's a human psyche error problem where the bad messaging is what we key in on, is what gets our attention, what gets the likes, what gets the shares. So the algorithm and the larger media pushes the negativity. So we think, again, we're the worst of us. Meanwhile, the people that want the better outcomes, that are doing the work, they're quiet. Their stories aren't out there, if they're even putting their stories out there. Most people, when they win, right, in this dating thing and they get off with someone they're married, they don't come back to share their stories. They don't come back to say, yeah, this is what we did right. This is how it worked. Or if they are, those stories are minimized and thrown out the window somewhere else, right? Not this window, but a different window, right? So guys, I'll see you in the comments. I'm looking forward, we can keep this conversation going. And as always, I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one.